Alright, YouTube world, this is my first Gatecrash Draft that I'm videotaping, so let's take a look at what we've got. We've got Whispering Madness, which cycles your card and your opponent's card. It's good in a low-cost deck. See Nimbus Swimmer, which is pretty good flood insurance, and then we have a couple of Orzhov cards that jump out. Basilica Screecher can be played in multiple archetypes and is splashable, so I think I'm gonna go with that. Other than that, everything's relatively underwhelming. Yeah, we'll go Basilica Screecher. Okay, it's got a Lojex Halberdiers, Bullstrade Spy, it's a pretty decent flyer. Stolen Identity is alright. A couple times I have played against it, it's been actually really detrimental. Other than that, no real removal besides the Sender's Elemental, which is slow. You need to untap to use it. I think I'm gonna go Lojex Halberdier. I think that was the best card in the pack. Okay. Well, now we've got Vizculpa Guildmage, the Guardian, the foil Watery Grave, another Screecher, a Dutiful Thrall, and a Shambles Shark. Shambles Shark is actually really good, puts you in Simic really solidly. Guardian of the Gateless keeps me open to go into either Orzhov or Boros. It gives me a powerful flyer, but Vizculpa Guildmage is essentially a planeswalker for 2. And I could always use another Basilica Screecher. I think I'm gonna go with the Guardian of the Gateless simply because its power and toughness are right at that wall. Okay, well now we have Syndic of Tithes, which is really good, Executioner's Swing, which is pretty decent. I'm seeing a Bullstrade Spy and White of Precinct 6, which are a good combination. Knowing that I've passed several spies already, it might be hard for me to pass that. Madcap's Skills is also really good. That would push me into Boros a little more, whereas Syndic of Tithes will still keep me open. I think I'm gonna do that, plus it's a bear. Alright, that's the second Madcap Skills. But I'm seeing now Crown Ceratok. It's kind of pulling me towards Simic, but I already spent 4 picks being elsewhere. Then there's the Knight of Obligation, which would be wonderful for continuing in that Orzhov vein, but I don't have the necessary removal spells, and I'm going to have to count on later packs for that. But you know what? I think I'm going to go with it. Okay, now I think I am getting pushed into Orzhov because Smog Elemental is the best card in this pack. I mean, if I was going the Spire Tracer deck, I would have had 2 of those plus the forced adaptations. But there's nothing in here even for Simic, really. And Furious Resistance is the only other card truly playable, so I think I'm going to pick up the Smog Elemental simply because it makes their flyers worse. Okay. Well, I can pick up this Gutter Skulk, which is alright. Or I can pick up this Death's Approach and assume that I'll pick up more removal later on. since I don't have any more removal yet, I do kind of need this, so we're gonna go here. Okay, we have a Righteous Charge and a off-color Key Room. This being the only Simic card in this pack probably tells me that Simic is not actually open. But seeing this kind of white card this late is pretty good. There's this Shielded Passage, but I don't feel like I'm actually that aggressive yet, and this is a late play card. It's like Overrun. Okay, so we have a Prophetic Prism and an Aerial Maneuver. Aerial Maneuver is a combat trick, but I mean it's pretty good. I am ignoring the Bomber Core. I'm gonna go with that Aerial Maneuver. Okay, I'll pick up the Gutter Skulk now, looking at bad cards basically from this point on. The Shamble Shark tabled, but I'm not switching at this point, I don't think. Dutiful Troll. Shadow Alloy Denizen will bring the curve down. This is something, it serves a role. It does give you decent cards. I'm going to take the land because that's just a terrible card. The Riot Gear is a reusable pump spell that is difficult to get rid of. And in some situations where their cards just barely outclass yours, it makes it so that you are back in the game. Okay, we see Clan Defiance here, which is really nice, but unfortunately it's incredibly off color. There's a Smite, which can be very helpful. Executioner's Swing, Basilica Guards, there's a Mugging. The hybridization is decent, but Smite is a better card. And I don't have to stretch my mana base at all for that. Here we have a giant Adaphage. There's what it is. If you can get to it, it's gonna do serious work, but I'm not in green at this point, and I don't see the reason to switch. There's an Assault Griffin. Our curve is pretty low right now. I think I'll take it. I seem to be picking up a lot of evasive creatures anyway. Oh, here we go. Two cards that I really want to see. Angelic Edict and Orzhov Charm. Now I won't see the Orzhov Charm again, so I'm going to take that. But in this pack we also see Sylvan Primordial and Madcap skills. Now I know the Simic players are in this direction, so I'm passing this along. But I'm hoping somebody right next to me is going to switch really quick here and just hurt the other Simic player down the line. I don't think I need the Wojek's Halberdiers anymore, plus it's manipulating the way I'm looking at my tiles. Making me see more 2-drops than I actually have. There. Okay. Here we go. Now we've got another Syndic of Tithes, which is nice to see. But we also have this Glaring Spotlight. There aren't many creatures that have hexproof presently. But the simple fact that it can make my creatures unblockable means that it can be a game ender. However, the Syndic of Tithes is just so much better. So I'm going to go with that. Alright, here's an interesting choice. Another Smog Elemental, which would push my curve higher. Or the Cartel Aristocrat. I'm thinking the Cartel Aristocrat, simply because I have some creatures that are just basically filler right now, and when those get outclassed, this will actually do work with them. So I'm thinking I'm going to pick this up. Alright, so a lot of people say that they don't like this, but you know, I think it's a pretty decent card. It's a 3-drop that can put a creature in their graveyard or kill a removal spell. and if they're hurting for land, that's what you're gonna hit. If they're flooded, well, then they just block and trade, hopefully. You shouldn't be attacking if you're not gonna trade. Nothing else in that last pack force either. Alright, so another Death's Approach, which we're already pushing it on that, as it is another Shadow Alley Denizen. We've already got one, but you know, they get better in multiples, if only marginally. Burning Tree Emissary is worth half a ticket, so I mean it's worth a look, but I can't play it, so we'll go with the Denizen. Okay, I'm choosing between a Prism and a Guildgate. I'm gonna go with the Prism. It basically does the same thing, except it draws me a card. And I'll be playing land anyway, and it doesn't look to me like I need the extra lands. I'm always happy to take another Extort trigger. Yeah, Skybinder Staff is tabled, so I think I'm gonna pick this one up. I've got some evasive creatures, this will make them even more evasive. Nav Squad Commanders is a wall. It's very hard to get through. It's got toughness over 4. Midnight Recovery, free extort triggers, gives me value. I'll take another Dutiful Thrall. It's just a wall. Predator's Passport, life gain is relevant sometimes. Alright, so I really don't have that much in the way of removal right now. Really just Orzhov Charm and Death's Approach. So some good removal would be nice. Alright, so in here we've got another Syndic of Tithes and a Devour Flesh, and since I'm hurting for removal, and I've got 16 creatures already, 2 Syndic of Tithes, I think I'll pick up another one of these. Okay, they passed me a Basilica Screecher, which is fantastic to see. But I don't know if I need any more 2-drops, although it does make my deck really aggressive. Might see the Basilica Guards come back, but seeing as I'm so aggressive, I don't think I need it. That'll probably table, and if that tables, I'll be really happy, the Key Rune. But I'm gonna go with the Screecher, simply because it drops my curve down and gives me more evasive flyers. Okay, so here's another Basilica Guards, which will give me a 3-drop creature, which I'm hurting on. I like the Zerachi Tiger, but again, it's a 4-drop and I've got a couple of those. Skullcrack doesn't do enough, and Boros Charm it's splashable, but do I really want it? So yeah, Basilica Guards. It's something to make the game go longer, which is not necessary, but you know, okay. So I can choose between a Court Street Denizen and another Devour Flesh. I think I'm aggressive enough that the Court Street Denizen is acceptable. I mean, they're going to be trying to block my flyers. The question is, do I have enough white creatures? I have several white creatures, and the Devour Flesh wouldn't hurt me at all. Oh, that's a really tough choice. I've got 18 creatures, and I need more removal, so I'll take another Devour Flesh. Okay, so it's a choice between Assault Griffin and Syndic Enforcer. I could try and stretch for this pit fight, but I don't know that I really want the splash card. It is removal, but I don't have huge creatures that I want to be trading for. These are both 3/2s, but this has flying while this has extort. Not entirely sure the number of extort triggers I have. Let me see. Syndic Enforcer, 2 Screechers, so that's 3 over there. Then I have 2 Syndic of Tithes,